Alright, I'm gonna get some consoles pulled apart. I'm gonna start with this guy. DSILL. Oh. This blue one wasn't a part of my testing lot, so I don't remember why it's in here. I think maybe because the screens aren't anything of note, anything that's worth testing as far as de-yellowing is concerned. The bottom screen is definitely yellowed, but I would say not bad enough. It's comparable with the other screens I have in stock. So, before I get too deep into it, I do want to just give it a quick test. Test all the components. I want to look at the game card slot to see if I can put games in it without them mangling my games. Pins all look pretty good in there. Okay, it is an LL. So I'll kind of go through a testing protocol that I usually do on my consoles that I sell. I'm just going to kind of quickly go through these. So, does it turn on? Does it open an application? Yep. 1.4.1J. I don't spot anything unusual. Next, I'll do tactile buttons. Just check all the face buttons and the shoulder buttons, see if there's anything weird. Do that with my DSP code that I have with some testing software. Ooh, I wonder what those are. Those sort of squigglies. They kind of look like pencil marks. Hopefully that wasn't from me. I don't remember those being there. Definitely not coming off. Well, hopefully they'll come off with soap and water. I mean, don't detect any problems. I'll check the touchscreen since it looks like it's in pretty good shape. I don't know if I'll use the LCD display because it is pretty yellowed here on the corners. But I can check to see if at least the digitizer's okay. Which I see no problem. Speaker, microphone, and headphone jack. I'll check that with an SD card slot test as well. Ba, ba, ba. Microphone works. So does the volume buttons. And it is able to read my SD card, as well as the song I had on there. So that tells me the SD card slot's good. If it can do a read cycle, I'm usually not too worried about it. I won't test the headphone jack, I'm not too necessarily worried about it. Check the cameras for anything weird. Nope, they look good. Charge port, okay. Now I've been kind of using this console as a battery charger, so I know that the charge circuit works. but not the actual port itself in the style and least I test it. Plug it in, orange light, charges. Jiggle around the charger to see if that light goes out. Focus camera. There it goes. Which it doesn't. So that charge port's good. And then last one's game card SD. Did I take out those SD card slot? Yep. It's game card and SD card slot, which I've already tested the SD card slot, so I'm not really too worried about it. But what I'll do is slot the game in like normal. And then in just kind of a weird way, I'll put pressure on it, sort of shift the game card side to side. There's a tiny bit of play in the game card slot. Push it down in the game card slot until it ejects. Do that 2 or 3 times. See if I can get this game card to just vanish randomly. I mean, so far, it's all been good. I mean, I could just pretty much immediately clear all of these internal components for sale. I never really thought of it like that, but that bypasses me needing to individually test components I extract. I detect no problem with this game card slot. So now I can completely strip it down for parts, get off all of these cosmetic pieces so I can get them cleaned. And all the internal components I can pretty much just put into my sale stock. Which is very nice. Okay. Let's get this. Let me get those feet off. Just use a tiny bit of rubbing alcohol to hopefully soften up the adhesive just a little bit. I'll grab my case for screw protectors. Since I'm already kind of doing this, I'll just do the top screen ones while I'm at it. These ones are definitely a little more finicky. One. Ooh, 2. There's definitely a bit of a dance you need to do with these things, as to not damage them. Now, kind of the idea is if you can get underneath the double-sided sticker, then you can kind of just pop it up. Sort of the same sort of idea with the DSIs. They have a lot more of a robust aluminum sticker, though. Well, at least aluminum in, like, texture. I don't know if it's actually aluminum. Ooh, 3. I didn't really realize I'm just kind of rolling around in those feet. Four. I mean, cleaning this shell is almost a formality. I don't even think it really needs it. Ooh, those are nice. Nice screws. Put them away as I go. I'll get this bottom shell disassembled first. Uses black and silver screws. I know I've already confirmed this, I just want to triple check. Yeah, those are motherboard screws, okay. At least these black screws for the shoulder button are the same as the ones used for the motherboard. Cool. Yeah, I never really thought of actually just immediately plopping over these tested parts to my sale market. Because when I test things like shoulder buttons, I need to sort of set them up in a test rig. Or just basically just assemble them in a console, test them real quick, and then swap them out with another set. Which is a bit tedious. But if I can sort of do that while I'm taking apart consoles, it's a win-win. Just gonna begin kind of taking notes here. Blue LL WJF121598899, which had motherboard 28X06012 U01878H negative A55. JPN, known issues. And speaking of JPN, since there is no real physical identifier on these motherboards, there is now. That's a Japanese motherboard, so I don't get them mixed up. Now this bottom shell is ready to get washed. Get the rest of this disconnected. Battery board, I want these screws. Okay. Making I get everything nice and organized here so I don't mix everything up. So I'll make note on the bottom screen that it is yellowed, but everything else is good. I'm wondering if I can make an external rig for testing shoulder buttons. I rigged up something on one of my tester motherboards to test speakers separated from top screens, and it works very, very well. Theoretically, I should be able to do that with every button. That'd be an easier way to test buttons, but I test shoulder buttons alongside power boards and Wi-Fi cards. And I mean, I'm not going to rig up a Wi-Fi card into a breadboard. That is just crazy. Did I not open the hatch for the... Yes, I did. Why isn't it releasing? There it goes. Okay, so this motherboard's really good to be nearing for sale on the market. Yellow good digi. Yellow on edges. Good digi. Where I'm gonna put all these screens, I have not decided yet. Yeah, even these membranes look real good. I don't think this thing was really played that much, if at all. Which I suppose is kind of good, but... I mean... You'd think these consoles want to be played. Hinge is good. So yeah, pretty much all these pieces I can immediately just put for sale. I haven't quite done anything with screens yet. That's going to require a lot more forethought. As to how I'm going to do that efficiently. Not only there the logistical hurdle of just transporting them without them being damaged, it's also just classifying them by various color temperatures. There it goes. Alright. Just gonna start making piles. since none of these internal parts need cleaning, I can just immediately put them into sale stock. Alright, let's see how this will want to pop off. Oh, well, on the lower shell side. I need it to stick to the upper shell. There we go. And voila. I mean, there's like a little bit of dust and tiny bit of grime here on the corner, but this is in really good shape. What I'll do is voila. Put the screen right there. I don't really know what I want to do with it yet. Put that shell in the spot for cleaning. I can move on to the next one.